I don't exactly know what like YouTube channel is going to turn into. I thought a good way of getting like a temperature on some interesting stuff to talk about or just topics and stuff like that would be to do a Q&A. So I posted some stuff on Twitter, got absolutely no responses. But then I posted some stuff on Instagram and I actually got some questions. I'm going to roll through them. What does a typical day in your life look like? I'm always just in Monaco. No. Wake up, I go to the gym, I get home from the gym at like 7:30, cold plunge, shower, have coffee, and then get to work. In terms of like what I actually spend my time doing day to day, it like changes a lot. Mainly most of my time is spent on product, like developing new product for Foreplay from like an ideation perspective, talking to customers. But then I also do like a lot of our marketing and planning out, you know, how we're going to get new customers, and then leading the team, helping them with whatever the project that they're working on right now is. Yeah, just try to help them push it forward as efficiently as possible. Next one, AI question, how fast / will AI change the ad world? I mean, I think it already kind of is. If you even just look at like Facebook ads, generally, like a lot of it is AI focused, like advanced shopping and like all that, and depending on what you call AI, like, yeah, it's definitely already making a huge difference in the way that people are doing things, efficiencies. And we actually did like a really big fireside chat on like the Foreplay channel. Yeah, I think it's already changing it. I think it's going to accelerate faster and faster. Oh, this is one of my favorite. What is the biggest limiting belief you see that holds others back? I'm a big limiting belief guy. Shout out to Tony Robbins. I mean, I think I would sum it up in like my idea with like limiting beliefs. There's like this very iconic Steve Jobs quote where it's just like, the sooner that you figure out that the entire world is made up by people that are no smarter than you, your life changes, something like that is, I don't know, put the quote on screen.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much. That's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. The minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, you know, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing.
Essentially the idea that like once you realize everybody doesn't know what they're doing, you don't need to know what you're doing, and that shouldn't be like a reason why you're not doing something is because you don't know. I'd say like that's the most common limiting belief. And I still have it day to day, and there's just like levels of unlocking what you think you can do or what you think you're capable of. I'm trying to think of like another one that's more specific. For me, it was I had realized at one point in my life that I was only playing games that I knew for sure that I could win, which is kind of the same thing. There's like a lot of value in trying to choose games to play, which like you're a little bit scared if you don't know if you're going to win, you don't know if you're going to fail. The more times that you choose these things that you have like no idea if it's going to work or not, the outcome ends up being a lot larger. What's the hardest thing about building a business you didn't expect? I don't know. I actually think I always expected it to be like pretty hard. I think a lot of people like are a little bit too dramatic on like how hard it is. Realistically, take your life into account. If you're like building a company in the Western world, is it hard? I guess, but it's like a lot easier than working in like a lithium mine in Somalia or something. So actually making a product that people want to enjoy and like building a team that can help you scale it, it's complicated, but I wouldn't say like it's hard. It's not easy, but it's not hard. Like it's just a lot of work. What's the thing I didn't expect? I didn't expect how much as a team grows, how much like interpersonal stuff that you have to deal with. You know, at the end of the day, like people come to work, but they also have lives outside of work, and stuff happens with people's lives. And very rarely do people come to you with good news. They only come to you with like bad news. That kind of sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. Where do you see your company in 5 years? So that, I mean, hopefully sold. I mean, maybe not, but I would love to, you know, kind of sell it between like $50 and $100 million is like the actual goal. But yeah, in 5 years, I would love to be like moving on to something new. Not that I'm tired of this, but you only have so many years and there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. Did you always know you wanted to be an entrepreneur? No. I always knew that I wanted to be wealthy though. And I think entrepreneurship's one of the most efficient ways to do that, especially like for my personality type. I'm not the best employee. I don't take orders well, and I don't like compromise. With all of that taken into account, I guess I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but other things I wanted to be an architect. That could be like the second phase of my life, is like building really cool homes, boutique hotels. I think that would be really fun as like a creative pursuit, but also relatively efficient in turning ideas into capital and stuff like that. Who do you look up to? I mean, like super cliche, but like Steve Jobs, like super visionary, very focused on product. Founders of Frame.io. I think that's like a really cool company, very simple concept, but like executed at the highest level and had a great outcome. yeah, that's probably who I look up to. And another one who personally I really look up to is like Jesse Itzler, just in terms of like building family and like building businesses for your lifestyle, but also having like a massive amount of impact. Big fan of Jesse Itzler and the way he lives his life. What makes you jump out of bed in the morning? I don't know. I'm not someone that has like a lot of trouble, I guess, like getting out of bed. There's always things to do. We're all like super lucky and able, whether it's like work out or get to work. I mean, nothing really makes me like jump out of bed. I just like get up and do what needs to be done. What's your biggest fear? I don't know, I try not make too many fear-based decisions. I guess like my biggest fear that like maybe the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You hear a lot of people talk about like looking back on their life, like, oh, like no one ever regrets not working too much. Maybe they regret working too much. But I also think the reflections you have in your deathbed aren't always the most relevant to people that are actually living their life. Obviously, it's going to be the most reflective time. Yeah, you might say I should have spent more time with family, and maybe you're willing to trade that in the final days, but I don't always know if that perspective is super applicable to someone that's not dying. So where do you see yourself in 10 years? On one of these yachts in Monaco, hopefully. I don't know, 10 years, I'll be 38. Hopefully by then I have like 1 or 2 kids, and hopefully like building businesses still, because I think it's the best game in the world to play. All right, that's all the questions. Okay, well, I don't know how long this video was. I'm gonna go enjoy Monaco, get back to Cannes. We have like a vlog about the whole Cannes experience. If you want to check that out, I guess I'll like link it here. And thanks for watching me babble on about my questions that some people want to know. Peace out.